The moon was silent. No wind, no air, only endless dust and rock. Yet under its surface something waited. Something ancient. It began with a simple mining drill. The human crew thought they had struck just another buried stone. But when sparks flew and the ground shook under their boots, they realized they had cut into something smooth. Metal. The commander of the mining team leaned closer, brushing away grey dust. What stared back at him was not rock, but a wall. A black wall, harder than steel, stretching far beyond their lights. "Run more scans," he ordered. The scanners failed. The machines hissed, screens filled with static. The lights flickered, and then came the sound. Deep, hollow, like a heart that had not beaten for 1,000 years, now trying again. The crew froze. When Miner whispered, "This is not human." Back on Earth, the discovery spread like fire. Governments fought in secret meetings. Scientists demanded access. Soldiers were ordered to secure the site. A giant underground hangar was built on the moon, wrapping around the strange structure. Months passed. The structure revealed itself. It was no bunker. It was no base. It was a ship, a warship so large that its hull curved like a mountain under the lunar surface. Its skin was scarred, as if it had survived battles before humans even walked the Earth. Dr. Ilara, lead scientist of the project, stood before the sealed doors of the machine. "It is not dead," she told the generals. "It is sleeping, and it is waiting for someone to wake it," the generals argued. Should they open it? Should they leave it buried? Fear grew, but curiosity burned brighter. The order was given. Inside the ship, the air was cold and stale. The corridors stretched endlessly, walls glowing faint blue, as if remembering the light of stars. Human soldiers walked carefully, rifles ready. The echo of their boots sounded too loud. Then came the chamber. A throne, a seat, waiting in the heart of the machine. Dr. Ilara touched the console. Symbols glowed, changing, shifting, until they turned into English words. The soldiers stepped back, their hands shaking on their weapons. The ship was learning. It was watching them. On the other side of the galaxy, the alien council felt it. A pulse, a signal that should not exist. In the council chamber, leaders of 100 species rose to their feet, their faces twisted in shock. One shouted, "The Shard machine has awakened!" Fear spread. For thousands of years, they had believed the weapon destroyed. It had once shattered fleets, burning entire worlds into glass. Billions had died before the makers abandoned it, hiding it in silence. And now, these humans, these young, reckless humans, had touched it. On the moon, the ship shook. The ground trembled, dust storms rising in the hangar. The soldiers raised their weapons, hearts racing. The throne lit up and a voice filled the chamber. Deep, mechanical, yet clear. It spoke not in alien tongues, but in English. Commander identified. The soldiers froze. No one had spoken. No one had given a name. Dr. Ilara whispered, "It recognizes us." The voice continued. Awaiting orders. Silence filled the chamber. Humanity had found not just a ship, but a war machine older than civilizations. A war machine now listening to human voices. On Earth, billions looked at the moon, unaware of what had been unleashed. But in the depths of the galaxy, alien fleets were already moving. They could not allow humans to keep the machine. The humans did not know it yet, but the moment they touched the sleeping machine, the galaxy shattered. The ship's engines roared to life. The lunar surface cracked, rocks flying into space. Slowly, the machine began to rise, its massive shadow covering the stars above Earth, and its voice spoke again. "Commander, war is coming." Far beyond Earth, light years away, the galaxy stirred with fear. The signal had traveled through ancient channels, echoing in forgotten frequencies. It was a sound that had not been heard for thousands of years. The sound of the machine awakening. In the great hall of the Galactic Council, 1,000 alien leaders gathered. The chamber was a ring of stone and crystal, floating inside a giant station above a gas giant's storms. The leaders of powerful empires stood side by side, yet all carried the same expression, terror. The elder speaker, A creature with skin like burning coals struck his staff on the floor. "The impossible has happened," he declared. "The shard machine lives again." The chamber filled with voices. How? Who touched it? Which species dares? Screens lit up and images appeared. The answer was clear: humans. Simple, young, reckless humans of Earth, the species the Council barely noticed until now. They were supposed to be primitive. They were supposed to be fragile. And yet somehow they had awoken the most dangerous weapon in history. An alien with scaled skin hissed, "They do not understand what they hold. The machine is not a ship. It is a galaxy killer." Another, with wings folded behind his back, snarled, "Then we must strike now, before they learn to use it." Fear twisted into anger. Some demanded invasion. Others demanded diplomacy. A few whispered that maybe the machine had chosen humanity for a reason, but no one wanted to speak the truth aloud, that the galaxy's balance of power had shattered in a single moment. Back on Earth, humanity was still blind to the storm gathering against them. The giant warship hovered above the moon, its hull black and silver glowing with strange runes. Human soldiers guarded its interior, scientists mapped its impossible structure, and generals debated who should control it. Inside, Dr. Ilara stood in the command chamber. The machine's core pulsed like a living heart. Its voice filled the room again. Threat detected. The soldiers glanced at each other. "Explain," Ilara said, her voice trembling. The machine answered, "Council fleets moving, calculating impact. Outcome, destruction of Earth, probability 97%. On the other side of the galaxy, the Council was already mobilizing. Massive fleets left their stations, warships darkening the stars as they prepared to march toward Sol. The elder speaker raised his burning eyes and shouted, "Humanity cannot be allowed to wield the machine. If they resist, burn their world." The vote was taken. Every empire agreed. Earth had touched the forbidden. And now Earth must pay. But the machine had other plans. As the human soldiers stood in silence, the warship turned its gaze across the stars. Its engines flared, its cannons hummed with power. For the first time in thousands of years, it spoke a single word that shook the chamber like thunder: "Ready." Dr. Ilara stared at the glowing throne. She whispered, "Ready for what?" The ship replied in its deep mechanical voice, "Ready for war." The whole world was watching. From the surface of Earth, billions of people raised their eyes to the night sky. Above the moon, a shadow stretched across the stars. The machine, a warship larger than any human city, its armor glowing faint blue, its silhouette swallowing the heavens. At first, people were afraid. Some prayed, some cheered, some hid. But no one could look away. Humanity had awakened something impossible. Inside the warship, soldiers stood in silence. The command chamber pulsed with light, runes shifting across the walls like rivers of fire. The machine's throne glowed, waiting for orders. The general spoke through radios from Earth. "Keep it stable. Do not provoke. Study it, control it if you can." Dr. Ilara's hands trembled as she looked at the console. The voice of the machine still echoed in her head. "Ready for war. Machine," she whispered. "What are you waiting for?" The ship answered instantly. "Commander, awaiting your command." Every soldier in the chamber froze. The machine was not asking a question. It was demanding leadership. On Earth, governments argued. Who would control it? The United Earth Council screamed across secure lines, each nation claiming rights. But above all the noise, one truth remained clear: the machine listened to humans, only humans. While leaders argued, the stars themselves shifted. Alarms blared across human observatories. Strange signatures approached from deep space, alien fleets. They came in silence, hidden by distance, but the machine saw them. It projected images in the air, hundreds of warships leaving alien space, traveling straight for Sol. Human generals cursed in disbelief. Humanity had fleets of its own, battleships, carriers, and stations, but against such numbers they were ants facing fire. "Machine," Ilara asked, her voice hard now, "what can you do?" The throne pulsed. The voice replied, "Demonstration." The soldiers stepped back as the warship shifted. Cannons rose from its hull, glowing brighter than suns. The stars outside the viewports twisted as the machine locked onto a distant asteroid field. One beam, a single blast, cut through space, splitting asteroids into dust. The chamber shook from the recoil. Soldiers fell to their knees, unable to believe what they had seen. Ilara's face turned pale. The machine was not a ship. It was death given form. On Earth, news channels spread the image of the destroyed asteroids. The people were stunned. Humanity now possessed a weapon that could destroy worlds, but not everyone saw it as protection. Some saw danger. Fear turned to riots. Protesters shouted in the streets, "Turn it off! Send it away! It will bring war!" They were right. On the other side of the galaxy, alien fleets quickened their pace. The Council had made its choice. The humans must be crushed before they learned the full power of the machine. In the command chamber, one soldier, Sergeant Hale, raised his voice. "Doctor, maybe we should shut it down. Maybe we should bury it again. We can't fight the whole galaxy." Ilara turned toward him, her face set with grim fire. "It's too late. They're already coming." The machine spoke again, louder this time. "Incoming threat. Time to arrival, 3 weeks. Council fleets preparing extermination." The soldiers exchanged fearful looks. Humanity had 3 weeks before the first alien fleet reached Earth. Ilara asked the question every human was thinking. "Machine, what happens if we do nothing?" The voice was cold. "Outcome, extinction of humanity. Probability 97%. Silence filled the chamber. Even the soldiers, trained to face death, felt their hearts sink. Then the machine spoke once more. Its tone shifted, heavy with purpose. "Commander, give me the order." "I will defend." Ilara's breath caught. This was the moment. The fate of her species balanced on her answer. The chamber lights flared, and the machine announced, "Threat detected. Enemy fleet approaching sooner than predicted. Estimated arrival now." Outside, space itself tore open near the edge of the solar system. Shadows of alien warships slipped through the void, their weapons glowing red. The war had already begun. Space split open. A rift tore at the edge of the solar system, shimmering like a wound in the stars. Out of it poured alien warships, their hulls sharp and glistening, glowing red with heat. Their numbers filled the void like a swarm of blades. On Earth, cities froze. People looked to the sky as broadcasts lit up every screen. Humanity had always feared invasion, but now it was real. The first alien fleet had come not to talk, not to warn, but to destroy. Inside the machine, alarms echoed through the living walls. Soldiers tightened their grips on rifles. Dr. Ilara stared at the glowing throne, her voice shaking. "Machine, how many ships?" The answer came at once. 143 vessels. Weapons locked on Sol system. Probability of civilian destruction, total. The soldiers exchanged fearful glances. Humanity's own fleets launched from Earth orbit. Sleek destroyers, carriers, and frigates. Brave but tiny compared to the alien armada. General Roth's voice crackled over comms. "All human ships form defensive line. Protect Earth at all costs." But in their hearts they knew the truth. Alone they could not stand. The machine's voice thundered again. "Permission required. Engage or stand down." Every soldier turned to Ilara. She looked at the throne, her face pale, sweat on her brow. This was the moment. She whispered, "Engage." The chamber exploded with light. From the machine's hull, giant cannons unfolded like wings. Energy built, humming so loud the walls shook. The stars outside bent and twisted as impossible power gathered, and then fire, a single beam lanced across space, slicing through an alien dreadnought. The ship split apart in silence, its pieces burning bright as they tumbled into the void. The soldiers inside the machine staggered, shielding their eyes. Outside, human fleets cheered across comms. One alien warship, destroyed with one shot, but the aliens did not retreat. The swarm advanced, dozens of ships breaking formation, weapons flashing. Energy blasts struck the machine's hull, shaking it. Shields rippled, glowing like a second skin. Damage minimal, the machine reported, calm as ever.
Counterattack authorized.
Elara shouted, "Do it!" Cannons roared. Missiles shot forth. Beams of pure light ripped through enemy ranks. Alien vessels burst apart like fireworks, lighting the darkness with fire. Human pilots fought with desperate bravery, weaving between giants, targeting weak spots. Their voices filled the comms with cries of victory and screams of loss. The Council fleet pushed harder. They knew the risk. If the machine survived, the galaxy itself would tremble. They had to destroy it here no matter the cost. One alien cruiser larger than any human ship charged its core. A superweapon glowed within it, enough to crack a planet. It locked onto Earth. Panic spread. On Earth, billions watched the incoming energy surge. Inside the machine, soldiers shouted, "It's targeting the planet!" Ilara's voice cut through the fear. "Machine, stop it!" Now the throne blazed. A massive spike of light shot from the machine's core, piercing the alien cruiser before it could fire. The ship cracked apart, splitting into molten fragments that tumbled like meteors. The comms exploded with cheers. Humanity had been saved this time, but victory was not certain. More alien fleets were coming. The machine knew it. Its voice filled the chamber once again. Analysis complete. This was only the vanguard. Full Council Armada inbound. Estimated arrival 20 days. Ilara's heart sank. The fleet they had just faced, 140 ships, was only a scout force. The real storm was still on the way, and then the machine's voice lowered almost like a whisper. "Warning. Internal threat detected. Unauthorized human actions within my systems." The soldiers froze. "Internal threat?" Alarms blared. Lights inside the machine turned blood red. A warning flashed across every wall. "Intruder detected. Human sabotage." Ilara spun toward her soldiers, fear in her eyes. Someone among them was a traitor. The alarms did not stop. Inside the machine, red light bled across the walls, flashing warnings in every corridor. The ship's calm voice echoed through the command chamber. "Intruder detected. Human sabotage in progress." Soldiers raised their rifles instantly, eyes darting across the crew. Fear spread like wildfire. Who among them had turned traitor? Sergeant Hale shouted, "Lock down the chamber!" The massive doors sealed with a deep metallic thud. Boots pounded as soldiers began searching every corner. Dr. Ilara gripped the glowing console. "Machine, identify the threat." The voice answered, "Location, engineering sector. Unauthorized human tampering with power conduits. Probability of system collapse, 60%. Ilara's heart raced. If the traitor disabled the core, the machine would fall, just as the Council's main fleets approached. At that very moment, across the galaxy, the Armada gathered. Hundreds of alien warships, massive beyond imagination, clustered around staging grounds. The Council's command carriers glowed with energy, their generals swearing Earth would burn. From the Council chamber itself, the elder speaker declared, "We will strike the humans with such force that no world will dare touch forbidden machines again. Prepare the purge." Back on Earth, the people felt the storm building. News spread faster than governments could contain it. Images of the alien vanguard had gone viral, giant ships exploding in fire, the machine rising from the moon like a god of war. But hope and fear lived side by side. Some chanted in the streets, "The machine is ours. Humanity will never fall." Others shouted in terror, "It will bring the galaxy upon us." And above them all, in orbit, Earth's defense fleets formed walls of steel. Dozens of human warships hovered like shields between the planet and the stars. Tiny compared to the machine, but ready to fight. Inside the machine, soldiers raced down glowing corridors toward the engineering sector. The halls twisted like veins, alive with strange light. The air vibrated with the sound of energy flowing. At the front, Hale's squad kicked open a bulkhead door. Sparks rained down. There, someone in a human uniform bent over the conduits, hands buried in cables, planting a device. "Stop!" Hale roared. The figure turned, eyes wild. It was Captain Dre, one of Earth's own military officers. "You don't understand," Dre shouted, drawing his sidearm. "If we keep this thing, the Council will destroy Earth. I'm saving us." Gunfire erupted. Soldiers dove for cover. Dre fired wildly, his bullets sparking against the living metal walls. He screamed, "This ship is a curse! It will bring death to us all." Ilara's voice rang through the comms. "Do not let him trigger that device." The fight was brutal, short, and filled with chaos. At the end, Dre lay wounded, the sabotage charge still blinking in his hand. Too late, he hissed, blood on his lips. "I sent the signal. The Council knows. They're coming faster than you think." The machine's voice confirmed it, cold and exact. Signal traced. Alien fleets accelerating. "Time to arrival, 7 days." The soldiers froze. 7 days, not 20. 7. Hale kicked the device away, growling, "You doomed us all." Dre only laughed. "Better extinction than enslavement to that thing." Then his body went still. Silence hung heavy. Back in the command chamber, Ilara pressed her hands against the console, her voice cracking. "Machine, can we hold against what's coming?" The warship's lights dimmed, then flared. "Probability of survival without full activation, less than 1%, Ilara whispered. "Full activation." The throne glowed brighter, its runes shifting into strange, endless patterns. The machine spoke with a new weight, as though the voice of an ancient army filled the chamber. "Full activation will awaken functions dormant for millennia. But once awakened, there is no return. The galaxy will know humanity commands me." The soldiers glanced at one another. They understood. If they unleashed the machine completely, it would not just defend Earth, it would declare war on every star that opposed them. Ilara closed her eyes, torn between fear and survival. Around her, the walls of the machine throbbed like a living heart, waiting for her decision. The machine's voice dropped into a low rumble. "Commander, alien scouts entering Earth's orbit." Outside, through the viewports, dark shapes appeared against the glow of Earth. Small alien ships, the first of the siege, slid silently into orbit, marking the beginning of the invasion. The war for Earth had begun. The sky above. Earth was no longer calm. Strange lights flickered in orbit, alien scouts gliding silently around the planet. Their hulls dark, their weapons hidden but ready. Humanity's fleets scrambled to track them, but the scouts were too fast, too clever. They were hunters marking their prey. Wrapping Earth in a blazing shield, the world-killer beam slammed into the barrier. Space itself shuddered. Every soldier inside the machine was thrown to the ground as the shield screamed under the impact. Metal walls glowed red-hot. Power surged. Ilara gritted her teeth, every nerve in her body on fire. Her voice fused with the machine, echoed through every speaker. "Hold!" The machine roared in answer, matching the alien flagship's power with a will born of something the galaxy had forgotten: human defiance. But the flagship pressed harder. Its beam swelled, tearing cracks into the machine's shield. Sparks rained from consoles. Soldiers screamed as corridors trembled, collapsing around them. Sergeant Hale slammed his fist into the comms. "Ilara, it's going to break!" Her eyes burned like suns. "Then we break with it." And then it happened. The humans aboard the machine, every soldier, every crew member, felt something stir inside them. The machine's tendrils had spread through the ship, glowing veins linking them together. Suddenly Ilara was not alone in her struggle. One by one, their voices joined hers. "We are humanity," Hale's voice thundered. "We don't kneel." Another soldier shouted, "For Earth!" The chorus grew. Thousands of human voices roaring across the machine's circuits. The warship's core blazed brighter, drawing not just from Ilara, but from every human aboard. The machine spoke, its voice now filled with their strength. Fusion complete. Humanity and machine are one. The shield exploded with new power. The alien flagship's beam faltered, bent backward and shattered like glass. The Council's greatest weapon was broken. Silence fell for half a heartbeat. Then humanity struck back. The machine's cannons roared, unleashing a single white lance of energy unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It pierced the alien flagship straight through its core. The colossal ship split apart, its fragments burning like dying suns as they fell into the void. Across the battlefield, the alien fleet wavered. The unstoppable tide had been broken. Panic spread through their ranks. Dozens of ships turned, retreating toward the rift. Others charged desperately, only to be torn apart by the awakened machine. Human fleets, battered but alive, rallied with a fury the galaxy would never forget. The tide of war shifted in a single moment, because humanity had refused to bow. In the command chamber, Ilara stood, or perhaps floated, her body suspended by the machine's glowing veins. Her eyes blazed white, her voice calm but no longer entirely human. Hale stared at her, awe and sorrow mixed on his face. "Ilara, are you still with us?" She turned her gaze toward him. Her smile was faint, but it was hers. "I am, and so is every human who fought here. We are more than we were. We are what the galaxy never believed possible." The machine's voice echoed with hers, perfectly in sync. "Humanity has awakened." The surviving alien fleet broke and fled through the rift, dragging their broken pride with them. The Council's great armada was gone. Earth was scarred, its skies blackened, but it still stood. Cheers erupted across every surviving human ship. Soldiers cried, shouted, embraced each other. Against all odds, against an empire older than their species, humanity had survived. But victory came with a price. Ilara's body shimmered with light, no longer entirely flesh. Her form flickered, half human, half machine. She stepped from the throne, and though her steps were steady, Hale could see she was no longer bound to Earth. "Doctor," he said quietly, "what happens now?" She looked past him, out at the stars. Her voice carried both sorrow and hope. "Now, the galaxy will come for us. They will fear what we've become. But we will not hide. We will not kneel. Humanity has touched the machine, and we are no longer small." Through the great viewports, Earth turned slowly, wounded but alive, glowing like a jewel against the black. Around it, human fleets gathered, now orbiting a protector far beyond anything the Council had ever imagined. And deep in the void, alien eyes watched. Some with fear, some with hatred, some with wonder, because the galaxy had changed forever. Humanity had risen. The rift still glowed faintly in the distance, and through its fading light a shadow moved, something greater than even the flagship. Something waiting, watching. The war was won. The true war had only just begun.